I find it kind of mad, yeah, that 100 years ago there were teenagers that were pretending to be adults to go off into war. And now guys are too scared to order their own food at McDonald's. Their girlfriends have to do it for them, right? I actually kind of used to be that guy. Maybe not that bad. My girlfriend never had to order McDonald's for me, but I remember waiting in line and being super anxious about like asking boss man for chicken and chips, being in the queue and rehearsing it 100 times in my head. Like, all right, I want 4 strips and a drink. I want 4 strips and a drink. Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. But it was almost like I had adrenaline pumping through me. By the time I got to the boss man, it was like I had to wipe the sweat off my forehead, right? Society has completely feminized us. We used to be hunters, we used to be warriors, we used to be providers, and now we're none of that, right? We're completely weak. We're the weakest generation that there is. Back then, there never used to be a question of what it meant to be a man. Life answered that for us, right? You had no choice but to be a man because you had to go out there and perform. Otherwise, you'd fail and be broke, poor. And back then, the conditions were way worse and there was a lot more consequence than there is now. Now we live in a time of peace, right? And that leaves us feeling completely lost, combined with the fact, like, let's be real, we're told girls can do everything better than guys and girls don't need a man. And that's nothing against women. Like, I'm not even saying nothing against women, but it just shows how lost we are as men because we're given no real direction. In fact, to be honest, now that I think about it, we're sent the wrong way. We're sent the wrong direction. We're told to be soft and emotional. And maybe that works for the fruity guys, but that's not me, right? If you're a masculine guy, nothing against you if you're a bit fruity, but if you're a masculine guy and you try to be soft and be emotional, you know, the world treats you in a way you don't even want to be treated. No one respects you. No one really cares. No one cares that you're upset. You kind of find the harsh realities out of the world. And so, what can you actually do about it? Well, there's one thing throughout history that all of the great civilizations, their men went through, right? What is that? It was a rite of passage, something that forged you from a boy to a man. Every great civilization had this. The most ruthless that I can think of, I've even read this book here if you want to know more about it, Gates of Fire by Stephen Pressfield. But the Spartans, right? The Spartans, they were ruthless, man. I mean, from the age of 7, 8 to 18, it was 10 years of basically intense training, like the most brutal training that you can think of. And if you failed, it wasn't like, oh, it's okay, you express how you feel. You just died. That was how it was. Like, if you failed, you died. So you had no choice but to forge yourself into a complete weapon, right? And like I said, the example that got me thinking about this was World War One, and I think it happened even in World War Two, where guys were lying about their age to get into the war, knowing where. I mean, they probably didn't know how bad the conditions were, but they knew it wasn't going to be easy. But there was a sense of glory. They wanted to be a man. And now we get like 25-year-old fucking femboys who want to be house husbands and let their girl do all the work, which I think is kind of lame, pathetic, to be honest, right? The thing is, there's a common theme throughout all of these civilizations as well, and common theme throughout history. Masculinity, unlike femininity, is earned, right? You have to earn your masculinity. It isn't given to you, right? So how do you earn it in a society that's sending us even in the wrong direction? You have to make your own rite of passage. You have to imagine it's a game, right? You've got to make your own quest line for you to then go and complete, to level up, to become a man, right? We have to be warriors in the garden. We have no choice, right? If you want to be a masculine guy, that is. I mean, you don't have to do these things and you end up being a weaker person for it. This video isn't for you. This video is for the guys that actually want to level up and be men in life, right? And so personally, I've taken this upon myself to do it in my life, to conquer my fears. And I think you should pick something that's really, really fearful to you, something that absolutely terrifies you, and go and conquer it, because that's where the most growth is going to be. That's what's going to actually change you as a man. So the thing that I've conquered last year was climbing a mountain. I had a knee dislocation, a shoulder dislocation, and I'm absolutely terrified of heights. So climbing a mountain, it was a pretty big thing for me. And to be honest, I kind of did it on easy mode, so I want to go climb a harder one this year. I climbed Mount Snowdon, so I'm going to show you some pictures now. But it was terrifying. The whole way up was like an adrenaline rush because, you know, I'm thinking if I slip, if I fall, if my knee randomly dislocates and I'm on the side of a mountain, what am I going to do? I got to the top and I felt like the biggest fucking G, bro. I'm telling you, man. I mean, I got to the top of that mountain and I had a cigar up there and I was looking at the view, which was completely beautiful. And I was thinking, I've actually done it. I've actually conquered it. And by the time I got back down, I felt like a new man. The way I walked was different. The way I talked was different. You know what I mean? The way I was carrying myself was different. And these lead to the other outcomes that you want, right? People start respecting you more when you present yourself differently. And you could be false and have a bravado, but people see through that. What's actually real is putting yourself through the fire and forging yourself into a stronger man. So that's why the other thing that I did is sign up for a fight. I'm training now for a boxing fight that I've got 6 days after my birthday. I'm sacrificing my birthday and everything else around it to lock in for this fight, because why would I go in there to lose and get my head punched off? That don't make sense, right? And it's one of the things that forges you into a man, is being able to be a protector, right? Well, you have to actually test your skill. You can train and hit the bag, but there's nothing like doing it for real. I've noticed I've become more focused, more resilient. I'm pushing myself physically to a point where I've never pushed myself before, reaching new heights. My goal as well, obviously, I want to get into the best shape of my life for this fight. And these are all of the results of me putting myself through the fire and fully committing to it, right? These are the things that's going to change you as a man, and that's what's missing in our feminine society. To become a man, you have to forcefully put yourself through the fire. There has to be real stakes, real danger. If your rite of passage doesn't absolutely terrify you, if it doesn't scare you, then you're staying in the comfort zone. And we know there's no growth in the comfort zone. The growth zone is past the comfort zone. So you have to make sure you're uncomfortable. It's a big challenge and something that scares you, because that's what's going to force you to grow as a man. We need more rites of passage. We need to set these big goals and ambitions for ourselves and actually conquer them. And it's okay if we fail, because at least we could say we gave 100% and tried. And of course, you can keep going and going until you conquer it. If I lose this fight, you think that's it, I'm going to be done for life now? Of course not. I'm going to go straight into another one, right? I couldn't handle that in my ego. I'm not going to lose this fight because I'm going to train hard. I know that for a fact, right? But even if I do lose it, I would have pushed myself beyond limits that I thought were even possible. There was a version of me that's super skinny, weak, and nerdy. He would never have ever thought of doing this in a million years, right? So I made this video to try and inspire you to stop being weak. If you don't want to be weak, well, you need to do something about it. So create your rite of passage. What's your main quest? Think of it as a game, right? What's your main quest? What's your big fucking goal that scares you that you're going to achieve? Comment it, right? That's what I want you to do. Comment what your main goal is. And then all the little things that you need to do to get there are going to be your side quests in a way, right? So for me, it's cool. Showing up to training, doing mobility exercising, optimizing my rest and recovery, making sure my sleep is absolutely top tier, right? Making sure I'm not eating junk, so on and so forth. These are all the little side quests I have to do every single day. And by the time the main quest comes along for me to actually fight, I'm going to complete the quest, bro. So if you gain some value from this video, do me a favor, hit a like, because I'm trying to grow my community here, and comment, what is your big goal? What's your rite of passage going to be? Because every man needs a rite of passage. You don't just become a man by age. It's earned. Remember that. Masculinity is earned. So what are you going to do to earn your stripes, bro? Anyways, give me some video ideas as well while you're in the comments section. Till the next one, peace.